Hello everybody, Scott here. I just got out last night of Terminator 2 Judgment Day. No, I didn't time travel. It is the 3D remastered re-release of Terminator 2. It's getting a theatrical run, I think for a week, maybe two, but we did get it here and I was pumped to see it because I'd never seen T2 in 3D. Kind of. Yes, I have. This is from T2 3D Battle Across Time, the ride at Universal Studios in Orlando. I saw that in 2014. I'd want to see it forever and ever. Saw it with my niece, who, I mean, the ride's like 6 years older than she is. Anyway, yeah, so I wore this, of course, last night. Big shiny shirt. I love it. There was 5 people in the theater, including myself and my friend. Yeah, but that said, T2 3D. Terminator 2, for me, has long been a favorite movie. I like Predator better. I always have. Raiders of the Lost Ark is one of my favorites. But when I'm listing my favorites, it's in that list. It's in that discussion. And I remember when I first saw it, I had a friend over, because it came out in 91. So in 88, I was 10. Do the math. I couldn't have seen an R-rated movie in the theater. So when it came on video, we didn't watch it. My parents did. And mom and stepdad, and they watched it, and then came to me us afterwards because we were just hanging out. We were like 12-year-olds, and it was like, you got to watch this. Because my mom let me watch movies. She understood. Like I get it. I'm a mature kid. I understand what the difference is. Predator didn't make me want to go beat up things like that. Don't worry. So it was like, you got to watch this one. Okay. Now, full disclosure, I never cared much for the Terminator. I found it slow. I need to rewatch it because I would probably love it now. I would probably really enjoy it as a mature adult, but as, like, it came out when I was 6, so I never got around to it, never watched it, never cared. But T2, oh my god, ended up watching it and was blown away. Regretted not watching it hours earlier when parents did on the VHS tape. So, it became a favorite. And I'd only ever seen it on that. Then I got the DVD. I've got 2 DVDs. I've got the Steelbook one, where it's got, or the metal case where it kind of wraps around the Ultimate Edition, I think it is, and then I also got the Extreme Edition DVD. There was a big remaster version. And I've got, I think, 8 versions on VHS, because I've started collecting Schwarzenegger movies on VHS, and I've got a bunch of them, including 2-packs and stuff, so. I've got Terminator. I've got it a lot. Terminator 2, that is. And Terminator. But I've never seen the theater. The only movies I ever saw from Arnold in the theater were Expendables, 1, 2, and 3. The Last Stand, he was in the rundown, Escape Plan, and that's it. Maggie and Aftermath never came here. So, and I missed Sabotage. I got the Blu-ray, but I never did see that one in theater. So I've never seen his originals in the theater. It is something that my generation, I was just too young for it, barely. When I was really starting to go to see movies in theater, he was governor, and there you go. But Running Man got re-released in a special thing we had, like a sci-fi, not convention, but festival type of movies. And now here we are with the 3D remaster re-release of Terminator 2. So all that said, all that build-up, this is the Citizen Kane of action movies. Now, you know I think Citizen Kane is grossly overrated. It's not that. People look at Citizen Kane as the hallmark of filmmaking. Nothing before had compared to it. And some say nothing since has. That's where my problem comes in. I fully believe, even though Predator is probably my favorite movie in 1987, the Terminator 2 from 1991 is the Citizen Kane of action movies. There is simply no action movie before T2 that is better than T2. I thought that last night in my head and went, why did I think that? And, I mean, I could go on and on. I could probably GBC this movie at some point just because it's a favorite, but the fact that the opening scenes from all of the future war in 2029 to establishing where the characters are and bringing them in back to the past and having them just slowly learning and meeting and everything just kind of silently moving towards the crescendo of the fight in the Galleria in the hallway where the Terminators are shooting at each other. John Connor gets out on his bike, T-1000 gets on the truck, they're chasing for a bit, then the T-800 comes in to establish where he's at and is on his bike, and then they get into the canals, it drives over the edge, and then the T100 or T800 is watching along, and the music is changing from the dun dun ding 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 ding, like a little upbeat thing for when the T800 is coming along, and they're going through the canals, and he comes out and he rescues them. And he goes, it's a 20-minute sequence with no dialogue. There's the but there's zero dialogue, and it tells an amazing, tense story that you follow 100% with the music cues of dun, dun, when the truck is starting to hit the walls, like oh, bad for him. And you see like zero emotion of the Terminators, so it's all one kid trying to run for his life, and it's the way the cameras are angled, like how nimble the bike is, and how you saw this how nimble and quick the T1000 is, but now he's in this big lumbering truck as the unstopping force. That's more of a representation of him barreling down, how he's unstoppable. It's what the T800 is, the big lumbering Arnold. But Arnold's more nimble on the bike, a little more experienced. He knows what he's doing and how to get around this thing, because he knows he can't brute force, which is what he is, against the T1000, which is not brute force. You see what I'm talking about? The amount of symbolism and stuff in an action scene between three vehicles in a canal. Do I need to really say more than that? This movie is absolutely fantastic, and it continues that thematicness all the way through, from the fact he's on a bike, to the fact they get a truck for a while, to the giant cryo truck that's chasing after the little truck at the end. That truck has so much character and is so evil, but it's just a big truck. Like, they probably dressed it and got the specific truck they wanted, but it's just a truck. But the way it's filmed and shot and pacing and the timing of it, if you want to know what I'm talking about, that Bad to the Bone segment with Arnold at the very beginning when he gets the clothes and boots a motorcycle. And the fact that he walks up to the guy, takes the shotgun, and takes the sunglasses, and it's dun 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 dun, and it's timed and timed. I love that kind of editing. I love that because they let the shot carry until that moment, dun 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 dun, like dun 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 dun, and then back to Arnold walking. Like the music cue when editing was picked music between this and this. No matter what happens before is leading up to the glasses bit, and this is leading from the glasses bit. But the glasses bit is this long to slot into this perfect moment in the music. That's the whole movie. That's, if you want to know what I mean, I just talked about The Dark Tower, which lacked a seasoned director's little touches. And again, I hate saying that because it feels like I'm knocking it, but I'm not. But it just lacked little moments like that. And I mean, this movie's been trying to be made for 20 years, so maybe that's a part of it too. And he just, like, we got it. But this one, my God, it's just incredible. And I know some people will say Cameron surpassed himself with Titanic, the Oscar everything movie, with, of course, Avatar and those coming up. But I still feel this is the best action movie ever. It's the best movie ever? No, I think Predator still is, from start to finish, 100% amazing. T2 has one 10-minute bit where they're at the border, and it just doesn't fit tonally with everything else. Because it's so breakneck with breathing moments. Because, again, when the T-1000's in the mental hospital to go after Sarah Connor, it's going on, and you know that John and the T-800 are on their way, and there's stuff happening, and the tension is building again, just like we had in the mall. And then you cut outside to this, they're on the bike, driving. Okay, so you know they're on their way, but they're not there yet, so okay, we're back in here, so that's how tense. That little cutaway is actually to make it more intense here. The movie's damn near perfect, except for that 10-minute bit in Mexico, or on the Mexican border, because it just drags and steps away. Like, we have no goal, I think, at that point, because the T-1000 has no idea where they are. We haven't seen him for a while. We don't see him for a while either, anyway, until he's tracking down Dyson to figure out where they are. He has no idea. He's searching. So, okay, he's not actually an active threat. They literally just have to escape. So the goal is to run away. And that's, compared to Hulk movies, that's like the Hulk Bruce Banner does not want to smash. Yeah, but everybody in the audience wants that. So we're not rooting for him to achieve that, kind of. And that's here. They didn't need to get out and hide. We don't want that. We want him to be safe and win, but we want to see the fight. So what ends up happening is we spend a while where they just discuss it. They're loading up, and she's figuring things out. She's like, I need to stop this from even happening in the first place. And goes after the guy who develops the AI that becomes Skynet. Now we have a purpose again. but there's a 10-minute chunk of just aimlessness, which I guess I mean that is the point, kind of. But once it goes back on that, they go there, they encounter Dyson, they go to Cyberdyne. We have the amazing set pieces there and just incredible stuff, and to the truck, to the Hasta La Vista. Just that one little bit of aimlessness doesn't work. Similar bit in Terminator 3, where he's got the Arnold Terminator has John and Kate and all the guns, and they're loading and talking about escaping the city, going into the mountains. But at that point, he's explaining what's happening so they can decide what they're going to do and go rescue her father and try to stop it. So it's active. We're invested in what's going on. But in T2, I think the problem with that part is that happened a little off camera because he explained a lot of it to Sarah in the car, and then we cut away to Dyson doing stuff and the T-1000 doing stuff. Then we come back to them, and they're just like, all right, we got the guns, we're going to leave in the morning. Sarah has a weird dream, which she talked about it, so we see it, so that's good. But then it's like, she just leaves. And it's great, because when she's in her mode, she's like a Terminator. Everything she hates, but she is. It's amazing. That's good, but there's that moment of just, like, nothing's really happening. Like, you see what's going on, but yeah. So yeah, Terminator 2 3D. If you've never seen it in theaters, oh my god, go see it. Because it's remastered. There's, like, 2 or 3 main bits. There's 2 bits when Arnold's on the bike, and he's chasing after the truck, and jumps off, and lands. And then drives around the truck, picks up John, they drive through, the truck hits, and the fire explosion happens. It's a stuntman for the drop, the pickup, and the fire. Well, it looks a lot like Arnold, but they rejiggered the face just a little bit. It looks like Arnold. And there's one other bit I noticed when the T-1000 does the finger poke thing through Sarah's shoulder. And there's a scene where you see, like, the two of them are there. And he's got the long finger going all the way through into the wall. Well, it's going all the way in, and then it's a little crooked behind her. Because, they put a thing behind it, and it just got angled. They straightened that. So they fixed that. There's one bit, though, when the Terminator gets his arm crushed in the press, and the T-1000 is the one who just threw it, and the camera just goes right from the T-1000 to the arm, focusing on the arm. It's like a second, but it was always a man in a foil suit. The one bit of practical T-1000 they had, still foil suit man. It's great. I love it. We could probably close it there, but I do want to talk briefly, because Wonder Woman was my favorite movie of the year, and James Cameron said Wonder Woman was a backwards movie. Let's throw this in right now. Cameron said that Wonder Woman was a step backwards because he didn't see her as being tough. It was still the male ideology of an attractive woman, and therefore that defeated the purpose. She didn't look tough or gruff or grizzled, and he didn't find it believable in that way. And my opinion on that part of it is, obviously Linda Hamilton's Sarah Connor is muscular, Ronda Rousey-ish, like just will beat the crap out of you, which is an amazing evolution from the damsel in distress from 1984's Terminator. It's amazing. But she's also broken, and I mean, it's tortured soul. It's perfect. But Cameron kind of works like that's how his female leads should be. That's a strong female type. None of this, whatever, very rugged like a guy would be. And you can already see the problem there, I'm sure. You look at Ripley, you look at Michelle Rodriguez's pilot in Avatar, and even Nayati, I think it was, in Avatar, Zoe Saldana's character, is very just like hunter, like very practical is the kind of word I'm going for, where it's nothing showy, it's some tribal stuff, but it's still this practical hunter type. None of these are outright feminine characters. They're strong females, but they're not feminine in the looking pretty, like a Wonder Woman, like an Agent Carter, which I'm mentioning for a very specific reason. They don't have the Tomb Raider glamorous like look. The new Tomb Raider is kind of going a little different on that, so that's good. But you get what I mean, right? They don't look like. Well, I mean, Jumanji, the new trailer is perfect. She's like, why am I wearing half a shirt and short shorts in the jungle? It's not that, which is pretty for the guys to look at. Okay, and I'm 100% on the part of that, because that's what all that crap is. It is nice to look at, but it's there so the guys can look at it. The guys can look at the guys and be like, I want to be like those guys, and be with those girls. And the girls are like, why is she wearing that? And yeah, he's good, but whatever. So that's why you get the shirtless moments like Daniel Craig in Casino Royale. That the girls are like, I want to be with that. And you see the badass women, I want to be that. The women don't have nearly enough of that. Agent Carter, the short, Haley Atwell talked about it, and she was thrilled with the fact that she could be a badass spy doing everything the guys do, but also look great in the outfits that is it. And that's where the disconnect is with Cameron in a way, because Patty Jenkins, the director of Wonder Woman, also said when the movie was being made, like, why would a woman wear that armor into battle? She's like, I want to look good and kick ass and wear an outfit like that with those heels in that boot and those boots. She's like, that's what I want to do, and she's a woman doing it. It's not so that the guys can look and be like, oh, her legs look better in those boots. It's no, I want to wear cool, badass stuff like that, because the guys would have the tank tops and the whatever and the muscles and want to be that. But the women are like, no, I don't want to be that, too. I want to be this. So maybe it's a product of all that, whatever. But she's like, he doesn't understand because he's not a woman. A woman can want to be strong and the hero and everything and be pretty. Because men are handsome, women are pretty. I mean, you can get into gender all you want about that, and don't get me wrong, I'm not going down that road, but that's the idea, what we're talking about here. He's saying that the lead shouldn't be pretty, because that's not believable as tough. It should be this. And she's like, what are you talking about? It can be this and pretty. That's what Agent Carter was. She can do all this stuff in a skirt and heels and look great and check her makeup while she's using the thing, and be a woman, is kind of what they're saying. Because women are that. Men are that. So I agree. Yeah, I mean, Patty Jenkins overgeneralized a little bit, like men can understand it. I fully understand it. It fully makes sense that a woman would want to be like a woman being a woman, and a man would want to be like a man, and some just can't comprehend the other. Okay. So yeah, Cameron's a lot of touch on that one, I think. It's not a step backwards, it's the step forwards, in that she did all this stuff as the badass savior of everything, and looked good doing it, because she wanted to. Not for the guys, but because she wanted to. And that's where the disconnect is. He's still thinking that it's that for the guys. And of course, it's Wonder Woman. It's from the 40s. It is a comic book male dominant. Yeah, there's some elements of truth on what he's saying in that, but that's not this. Because when you see women like, I want to look like that, you see girls wanting to look like Batgirl. In the heels, in the outfit, the cape, the mat. They want to look like that. Being badass. They want to be like Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, in the crop shorts and everything. They want to look like that. Some are like, it's ridiculous. Absolutely. But some, like, why not? You can look badass and look good. And he just doesn't think that second part's possible. It's so weird. It's such a weird thing for James Cameron to be saying that. But when you look at his female leads, I can see it. They are no nonsense, no frills. And it's good because it gives equality, because the characters otherwise aren't that. But come on, James, dude. That's like saying the hero shouldn't be attractive. Now, should attractiveness be part of it? Absolutely not. But there's no problem it can't be. Kirk is a womanizing, handsome douchebag. He's handsome. Are you telling me that Kirk shouldn't be handsome because the hero shouldn't be handsome? That's kind of where you're going with it. I mean, it's odd and ironic because the guy who plays Kirk plays him there, Chris Pine. But you get what I mean. Like, that's like saying just imagine if Patty Jenkins said all these male characters, like, they're tough heroes and everything, but it's not believable because they're too attractive and too pretty to look at. Like, Chris Evans as Cap, no. Chris Hemsworth as Thor, this is ridiculous. Doesn't make any sense. None of these work. Tom Cruise in The Mummy doesn't make any sense as a handsome man. I don't buy into it. They're not like gruff enough. Come on. No. That's where that really comes in. You want to go equality, you go nose for nose, and that's what he's saying, and it's ridiculous. But anyway, that's my little extra bit on that, because it's perfect timing of it. Terminator 2 Judgment Day is the Citizen Kane of action movies, and that is a good thing. There have been better action movies since, 100%. People have taken that and gone from there. But when you watch it in theater, it holds up 100%. It is kind of weird that people are smoking a lot, and it is dated because you have the cathode ray tube monitors. But besides that, go see it while you can. It's only in theaters for at least a week, maybe two, I don't know, but I hope it does well. That's it for me. This was a long, rambly one with some extra Cameron versus Jenkins, but I'm okay with that. That is the big fight for me. McGregor-Mayweather is interesting, but I'm not spending $100 or $41.95 to go see it at the theater. Oh my God, no. But what you can do is watch my stuff for free on the internet. Cyclops Scott on YouTube. It is Cyclops Scott with 2 S's in there. Cyclops Scott. GuiltyPleasureCinema.com. And use those on all the socials. You will find all the stuff there. Do check out the other stuff. There is more GPC coming. I know I keep saying it, but I've shot stuff. There is big plans. It's going to be some fun stuff. I look forward to it. And more like this. I like talking about the older movies. I like talking about the newer movies like Dark Tower and Recoil. This random video one I saw. Do you want to see more of that? Let me know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.